What's going on, guys? Just to be quick, everything I'm going to say in this video is going to be my opinion. Obviously, I'm not going to be throwing accusations. I'm just going to merely voice my own opinion and make sure that I stay in the guidelines of my opinion. And the only thing I'm going to say is Raygun is, God, so self-entitled and delusional, and I don't know, to me he seems like a liar. If you don't remember, Raygun was that goofy dancer that pretty much set back breakdancing as a whole. Got it completely shut down, I think removed from the Olympics. If not, they're probably going to anyway. And basically made a laughingstock. A lot of the accusations towards her on how she got her position to go to the Olympics is shady at best, or at least shows her in a shady manner. I believe the judge that was like showing all this off to basically put her in there or give her the first place was her husband. There was a lot of shady business practices that put her as #1. She's also got some degrees. I think they said a doctorate or a PhD. Who gives a shit? And, dancing, whatnot. She's tried to study all of it, which is fine, okay? You can study something and know a lot about something. It doesn't mean you can physically go do it. I mean, it's all well and good. I could play a video game and play Modern Warfare all day long. Doesn't make me a crack shot. Doesn't make me a professional soldier. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out there, treading the front lines. Just because you read up on something and you know the basics don't mean that, you are anything but an amateur. And she showed that with pride when it came to the Olympics. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is her legal issues. Well, not her legal issues. The legal issues she brought upon somebody doing a parody musical about her, just making fun of her. I say parody, they directly did name her, so that is a little bit of a problem. But instead of just a cease and desist and a quick, hey, can you just change the name? No, instantly got it shut down and was trying to sue. Like, it got pretty ridiculous. But, I'm going to go ahead and play you some of the clip that had to do with her trying to save face.
My team's been working with Steph's team, and we've managed to come to an agreement. She still gets to go ahead with the musical. She's got a new name, new poster. I'm really happy for her, and I wish her all the best. So there's a lot of talk around this $10,000. That was from really early on. Day one, my lawyers were acting on my behalf. We were worried that we might have to go to court. Obviously, no one wants that. And so the 10K would just be my potential legal costs if we had to go to court. But fortunately, we didn't.
All right, so I'm not going to argue about legal issues. I know legally she can do this. So yeah, I'm not going to argue that. I just think this is just still tedious and stupid. I think we can all still agree that it is severely childish for somebody to get a little bit petty. And she just tries to blame lawyers. At this point, if your lawyers are just going after people, let's just do this for argument's sake. If your lawyers are just going after people quite literally this easily just because they think that they can get a quick squeeze of money out of them, and you're still using them, you are still a problem. You are still an issue. And if it's because you got butthurt, well, it's only a financial thing. And the only reason why I say that, because you took money from Activision. Activision has an emote that has to do with her. And guess what? She took money from that. I can't remember if there's one on Fortnite. I just know there was one on Call of Duty. So yeah, you profited off of that, and you were fine with that. But somebody doing a musical, obviously with your name in it, like I said, this is all has to do with the name. Is just completely stupid. Now, obviously, because they can get the parody part down, whatever. I don't know all of Australian law. I know here in America, if it's a parody and it's clearly seen as a parody, like a lot of things are covered under parody. That's why you got music that gets made all the time, where it's, as long as it's a parody of the song, you can get away with it. But I think, like I said, if your lawyers are going after people for the most tedious of things to try to save face, or whatever lawyers do, you have a very bad set of lawyers. They're making you look worse. And then you're having new PSAs, which I don't know if they wrote it or not, which would actually be worse. You have to face the facts. You put yourself out there, and like I said, in less than favorable ways. People are scrutinizing that. It looks like you may have done something you weren't supposed to. However, everybody wants to say legally, you got put out in the Olympics. Regardless, basically, you put yourself out here. Okay, you look like a buffoon when you're doing your dance routine. All right, if anybody has nephews, nieces, kids, whatever, you know that there's always the child that wants to sit there and like yank at you going, watch, watch, watch. and they're always doing something stupid, like doing a front flip, but they're doing it with their head, and they're like, "Oh, look what I did!" That's what that equivalated to. The entire dance routine just looked like, "Hey, mom, look what I can do." That's it. And the fact she trademarked, from what I understand, this is a meme at this point, but trademarked her. Well, I gotta be careful. I just did it, but the kangaroo pose is pretty much trademarked. Oh yeah, this is a post edit real quick. No, I don't mean she actually trademarked it, by the way. I was just being goofy, and I realized some of the slow people would take that as fact. No, I don't mean that as fact. I'm merely just being an ass. That is, God, that is so dumb. That is literally dumb. That was not a move, but people have done that for a long time. Now it's just not popular. No, you made it popular, obviously, but it's just you standing there. I hate when people want to try to... Okay, I'm going to go off track just a little bit, because this has nothing to do with her. I just hate it when people are, like, trademarking a stance. You know what I mean? Like, I stand a certain way, or I look a certain way, or I do a small little thing a certain way. I hate it when people want to trademark that shit. It's so annoying, because you're just trademarking nothing. It's just you standing there. I don't know why. I just find it annoying. Like, it's probably completely legal, and it's just me being petty. I just think it's annoying. But, back to what I was saying. You put yourself out there. You pulled the strings-ish, allegedly, or had somebody pull the strings, so you can go into the Olympics knowing full well, or hopefully knowing full well, since you apparently know enough about dancing and everything this intricately has to do with it. You should have known well enough what you were doing. Your whole routine, all your dance moves were just goofy. Most of it looked like an epileptic seizure. I mean, at one point in time, you were doing that. It looked like with Squidward trying to say future, but you're on your side. That's exactly what it looked like to me. And you have been memed on, made fun of, and if you can't profit off of it in the slightest of way, you got your feelings hurt, and you or at least your legal team, and you went with it. And then to say, oh, it was just, it was $10,000 in the beginning, we removed that. Obviously, you removed it because, and you say it was for legal reasons. I think really it was more of a scare tactic. $10,000 is a lot of money. And that's my opinion. I'm not saying that's what they did. But the legal team being thrown under the bus, that's a pretty quick, easy way to just say, I'm not taking responsibility for this, even though you're the one that hired them. You didn't vet them properly, whatever it may be. I know people make mistakes, and that's what you should have said. That's how you should have handled it. Hey, I made a mistake. I hired a team that is not properly dealing with things the way they should. It was just a musical. It was pretty simple. But, don't get me wrong. I'm glad the other person, the one doing the musical, is the one that came to an agreement, so you can just leave them the hell alone, because all they're doing is, making a little bit of fun at you at your expense. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, this is borderline bullying. No, this is somebody put themselves out there. Look into some of it. It's pretty shady. A lot of it just seems really wrong, and not to mention it's the same person pretty much just demolished the entire potential of having it in the Olympics. I, for one, don't even care if dancing was in the Olympics. I don't see... that's like diving. I don't know where the parameters are for it, because I don't see the physical feat, other than the fact I just can't do it. That's about it. I mean, I can understand where long jumping or high jumping or pole vaulting, all that comes with a great physical expense for it. But diving so many flips with like perfect, I think no splashback and stuff, that's just weird to me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and dictate what can be in the Olympics. That makes no sense. I'm not the pinnacle of, peak male performance. I know I don't have, a single bit of understanding about human physiology and everything like that. So I don't know what diving has to do with it, but I'm just saying it just looks weird from the outside, looking in. And bringing the Olympics into it, which has always been just some kind of street sport, in a way, is just kind of weird to me. If you want to throw it somewhere, put it in the X Games. Make fun of it there. And please, put Raygun at the forefront. I think it'd be hilarious just for her to be made fun of there at the X Games. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.